The Los Angeles Dodgers have a glaring problem with their all-time good roster, and that problem is their superstar shortstop, Mookie Betts. Well, there's also a lot more than just that is truly concerning for the defending World Series champions. Coming into the season, the Los Angeles Dodgers were absolutely, without question, the favorites to win the World Series once again, after just doing that in 2024. With Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman being the top three of the order, there was more than enough for them to be the favorites, right? Not only that, they also went out of their way to bolster their already good bullpen and add another frontline starter in Blake Snell during the offseason. Unfortunately for the Dodgers, this vision hasn't gone as well as they would have hoped, at least recently. Before I continue, if you find yourself liking this video at any point, please consider subscribing and leaving a like if you want to see more of my content. It helps me out a lot. That's all, thank you. Mookie Betts has struggled for most of the season with a .241 batting average and an under 700 OPS on the entire season, which is bad. Over the past 30 games, it's gotten even worse for the struggling superstar, as he's hitting just .178 with 2 home runs. And over his last 7, after going over 4 in his first game back from the All-Star break, he's hitting just .107 with 0 home runs in that stretch. It's been a major struggle for the shortstop. Mookie Betts has made it known he doesn't even really know what's happening, saying, "You get so lost in it. Once you go down a rabbit hole, not a rabbit hole like I'm chasing something, but once you get down it so far, up is so high that you just don't even care about it anymore. Obviously, yes, I do want to play better, but where I was and where I am now, it's so night and day different. I've never done this. It's all new. I've never been this bad for this long." Clearly, Mookie is struggling not only on the baseball field, but he's struggling mentally trying to find these answers, and these quotes confirm that. And because of that, in the Dodgers' second game back from the break, Mookie Betts was benched. Manager Dave Roberts said this might not be a one-game thing either because of his mental struggles he's going through. Betts is one of the major issues with this team right now, because he continues to struggle offensively, and it's really limiting the length of the Dodgers lineup, especially with Max Muncy and Kike Hernandez being injured. But Mookie isn't the only superstar that's struggling for the Dodgers, because Freddie Freeman is also massively struggling over his last 30 games as well, batting under 200 with a .268 on base percentage and a terrible .268 slugging percentage, with just 1 home run in that stretch, 112 at-bats and just 1 home run. He also has just 8 RBIs with 35 strikeouts. Over his last 7 games, it hasn't gotten any better for the 2024 World Series MVP either. Betts and Freeman both have had major fall-offs with the underlying stats as well, so they're not just getting unlucky, especially Betts, who has really struggled at hitting the ball hard, which obviously is extremely important. In 2023, Betts was 86th percentile in exit velocity, meaning he was better than all but 14% of players in baseball in hitting the ball hard. However, I'm worried about Mookie Betts because his bat speed has always been a little slow. However, in 2023 he had 38th percentile bat speeds, and now in 2025 it's all the way down to 11th percentile, meaning he has an incredibly long and slow swing, when he used to have some of the quickest hands in the league. Mookie Betts is getting older, and with it, his athleticism is leaving, and as he's an undersized guy, his power probably isn't going to be the best if he's not the most athletic guy on the field. Mookie Betts still has elite contact ability, however, striking out very little and hardly ever chasing. But that decreasing bat speed has really led to a significant issue in terms of quality of contact. His average exit velocity is now just 20th percentile instead of 86th, like he was 2 seasons ago. So now he's in the bottom 1/5 of Major League Baseball in terms of average exit velocity, when he used to be a guy who was in the top 1/5 of MLB players. The walk rate is down, the power is significantly down, and he continues to get slower year after year. Since making his debut in 2014, Mookie Betts has never had a below league average WRC+, which would be at exactly 100. But in 2025, Betts is stuck at 93 3 WRC+, meaning he's finally below. He's having the worst season of his 11-year career. There's more bad stuff though. Betts is hitting less line drives, hitting more ground balls, and hitting the ball softer more. He's also hitting more fly balls than ever, while also doing less damage against fly balls because he's not hitting the baseball hard. The underlying stats are honestly even more worrying than the eye counting stats for Mookie Betts. I'm very worried about the former superstar. Looking at Freeman, the underlying stuff is maybe even more concerning, but for a completely different reason. His elite contact ability, chase rate, and walk rates have all fallen to below league average marks. Well, the walk rate is still slightly above league average, but it was 94th percentile last year, so it's still an insane fall off. By far the biggest concern I have with Freddie is the fact that Freddie has always been good at limiting whiffs, with his lowest mark of his Dodger career being 75th percentile, but that rate has cut down almost 70% because now he's down to 23rd percentile in that statistic. And this is a huge deal because if you don't know, a whiff is swinging and missing at a pitch inside the strike zone. So he's swinging and missing at pitches inside the zone way more often than normal, which is a major problem. His hard hit rate is very similar to what it was last year, so maybe his are less concerning than Mookie's, it's kinda hard to tell, but his lack of ability to make contact is really a bit worrying. If these two superstars are not carrying the offense along with Shohei Ohtani, I'm a little concerned about the future of this team, especially against the playoff teams in the National League, which are all very solid. Now, it certainly hasn't been all bad offensively for the Dodgers. Andy Pages has fully broken out this season with a .282 batting average and 17 homers in his somewhat limited playing time. He's been phenomenal. And Will Smith has gone back to being one of the best overall players in baseball once again. Even as a catcher, he's hitting like an elite player. He's batting .323 with a .962 OPS. He's been incredible. Shohei Ohtani is once again at least going to come second in MVP voting. Maybe he gets beaten by Pete Crow Armstrong, but either way, he's going to come top 2, mostly because of his 33 homers. But we aren't here to talk about the good of this team, unfortunately. And offensively, overall, there's been a lot of it. They're still top 3 in almost every single offensive category, but over their last 11 games, they've been slumping very bad, scoring 2 or less runs in 7 of those 11 games. They've also gone 2-11 over their last 11 games record-wise. However, it just gets worse. They've struggled this year against teams with a winning record, going just 24-25 on the season. And if you make the playoffs, you're only going to be facing winning teams. So the Dodgers don't just have aspirations to be a good regular season team, they want to go back to back. And if they can't start at least having a winning record against teams that are above 500, I don't know how they're going to do that in the playoffs when every single team that they're facing is one of those teams. Now, I haven't really gotten to the worst part of the season for the Dodgers so far, and that's the way below league average pitching staff. Listen to the teams that have a worse ERA than the Dodgers. The Rockies, Nationals, Athletics, Orioles, Angels, Diamondbacks, and Marlins. And exactly 0 of these teams would be in the postseason if the season ended today. The Dodgers are 23rd in the league in team ERA. They are the only team in the 20s in team ERA that are in postseason position right now. And the pitching injuries continue like they do year after year for this ball club. Let's look at some of the pitchers that are on the injured list right now. Tony Gonsolin, Roki Sasaki, Blake Snell, and Gavin Stone for starting pitchers, and then in the bullpen, Brusdar Graterol, who of course is always injured, Michael Grove, Michael Kopech, Evan Phillips, Blake Trinan, as well as Shohei Ohtani just coming back from injury, and Tyler Glasnow just coming back as well after spending most of the season on the IL. Now, Yamamoto has been very good for the Dodgers this year, and Clayton Kershaw has also been good this season, but some of the other ERAs on this team are just terrible. Dustin May, who has 17 starts this year, has a 4.96 ERA. Landon Knack has a 5.1 ERA. Roki Sasaki was terrible before getting injured with a 4.7 ERA, and even Tony Gonsolin, who has never been bad in his entire MLB career, has struggled this year before he got injured once again as well with a 5 ERA. They signed some back-end relievers that should have really helped bolster the bullpen during the offseason, but those signings also have not really worked out, as Tanner Scott has over a 4 ERA and Kirby Yates the same thing. They have almost identical ERAs and they've been blowing a lot of saves this year. Anthony Banda has also struggled badly with a similar ERA to the other two. The bullpen is also 23rd in baseball, so they've been just as bad as the starting pitchers. And the issue is, a lot of these injured arms are not coming back this year. The Dodgers have had a lot of season-ending injuries. There are just a lot of pitchers that are down and they aren't coming back, so the Dodgers are going to need some help come the trade deadline, especially on the pitching side of the ball. But if the offense continues the way that it's going right now, they might need a bat or two as well. So personally, I'm a little concerned about the Los Angeles Dodgers and their ability to become the first repeat winner in over 25 years in MLB. But I want you to let me know in the comments, what do you think? Are you as concerned as I am, or do you think that the Dodgers are still the team to beat in Major League Baseball? They're still very good, obviously, but I'm a little concerned. Are you?